They say you are what you eat, so I don't eat chicken feet. But I love me some of Grandma's pickled beets. Well, cut it up, put it in the pan, throw it over your shoulder and see where it lands right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Maters, taters, beans and corn, the cows in the barn and the sheep's been shorn, kids in the barnyard chasing Grandpa's chicken. Spices, slices, cuts and dices, gonna slash your grocery prices right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Help you grow your garden good with recipes to suit your mood. Try some grub you've never tried before. Smash it with a wooden mallet, gonna educate your palate. Right here in Farmer's Kitchen, in Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. We're gonna cook something good now.
Hello and welcome to the Farmer's Kitchen. We're the farmers. This is our kitchen. And Nikki has no patience when it comes to Thanksgiving, when it comes to Christmas. If we turn the cameras around right now in the living room, would you be embarrassed?
Not at all. I'd be proud of
For
what
all
I
the
did.
Christmas, she made me blow the Christmas horn.
You enjoy blowing the Christmas
I
horn.
actually do. But she goes to the store and Thanksgiving's right around the corner. So what do you want? What did you ask me to do?
Turkey, we need to practice. It's almost Thanksgiving.
So I smoked turkey.
That's right.
Which was delicious.
Yes.
So on our social media pages, all over the place, people are asking, do you have a recipe for this? Do you have a recipe for that? Thanksgiving's coming up. Do you have a recipe for this? So we're going to lay out a whole feast here, including sides, starting with the turkey. If you have a smoker, and if you want to smoke a turkey, it is absolutely beautiful and wonderful if you would like to do that. Now, typically, if I do a turkey, I like to brine the turkey. And right now, if you want to take a look at this, this is a great brine for chickens, for turkeys. I even use it for fish and all kinds of stuff. Here is my brine. You soak your turkey 8, 10, 12 hours, whatever you want to do. All right, now, when you're smoking a turkey, you have to think about X amount of time per pound. Generally, they will tell you half an hour per pound. Now, a long time ago, when I was first learning, mistakes are important. A long time ago, I got this smoker and I followed the directions to the T.
That's right.
The turkey was almost, it was a darker color than those cabinets.
We had to
back
dip
there.
it in water to eat it.
We had to rehydrate it.
That's right.
Here's the deal. Here's your friend on a turkey. The other day we did a 12, 13 pound turkey. And here's what I've learned from experience. If you are going to smoke it, meat thermometer is your friend.
That's right.
Stick that meat thermometer in. Start checking it. If you got a 12, 13, 14 pound bird, start checking it around 2.5, 3 hours. Now you're gonna let a little heat out, but it'll build back up. Check in the deepest part of that turkey, inside the thigh, even deep in the breast. See where you come out. You need to be 165.
Right.
3 hours, we were at 170.
Right.
That's all you need. Now, when you're smoking a turkey, sometimes when you cut it up, you're gonna see some pink. That is not blood, that is the smoke ring effect that you have on meat. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's delicious. Temperature is key here. So that takes care of the bird for the most part. Meat thermometer
right.
is your friend. What's next? You gotta have some sides. Now, my sister Debbie makes some of the best cranberry sauce in the world.
She does.
And she makes a beautiful Thanksgiving spread as well. So here's her cranberry sauce. We're getting there.
Right. Pretty much, we're gonna put in our 8 ounces of cranberries, 1/8 cup of water, and sugar. We have got a 1/3 cup of sugar. And I'm gonna put some lemon juice in here. So we want about 2 teaspoons worth. So I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it here, what I like, because this is just something we're kind of adding on our own.
A little zing.
Yes, and we're also gonna put a little orange peel in there. And later on, we're gonna squeeze a little bit of juice out of this orange and add it to it too. I like a little bit of orange flavor to mine. So you can be my stirrer if you'd like.
Sure.
Yes, we're gonna stir this until we get all the sugar melted, and then we're gonna turn it up a little.
So you want your setting on your burn to be very low at first.
At low at first, so we get
mixed up.
so we get it all melted. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze, because when we get done with this, we're gonna put a little bit of orange juice in there too. We like that orange flavor. And then Debbie's secret's at the end. And she told me we could share her secret. Looks like it's all melted. So let's go ahead. You want to turn it up a little bit
Crank it up a hair.
to a medium, and we're gonna let this go from 6 to 8 minutes, and you're gonna see this all kind of,
These cranberries
yeah,
start to
they're
pop.
gonna pop, and they're gonna start to cook down. They're gonna look absolutely delicious.
6 minutes after they start to burst.
That's right. This is so simple, you'll never buy it out of a can again.
Boy, it's really cooking the juices out of it.
Doesn't
Isn't
it smell good?
it? Sure does. You can smell the orange.
Another thing Debbie said is she'll make this sometimes a couple days early. She likes to let it
Let it
sit
chill.
and let it chill, and just it gets a little bit better.
Okay, it looks like you're there. Go ahead and turn it off.
All right, and this is the little thing we're going to do here. We're going to pour that orange we had. I'm going to pour, it's a 1/4 cup. We're going to do a 1/4 cup of orange juice in this. Go ahead and stir that around. And then we're going to put Debbie's magic ingredient. You ready for the magic ingredient?
I'm ready. I'm not scared.
Hold your spoon up. This is orange gelatin. That is the secret. She says it takes the bite out, and we're going to put about a tablespoon because we made a small
That
batch.
will also firm that up.
Give it a little more orange.
Orange?
Orange. And then we're going to stick this in the fridge for 4 to 5 hours while your goose is cooking, and we'll have cranberry.
Let it set, let it roll, let it chill.
Now, you know, we were talking the other day, and Kelly said something about we haven't done a dressing show in a million years. So I thought, okay, let's do some oyster dressing. If you don't like oysters, you don't want to do it, you don't have to do that. But they give it a wonderful salty, briny taste. If you want to have some dressing, don't put it in a bird. Put it on the side.
Exactly.
Put it in the oven. And here's an oyster dressing that we just did not too long ago. Nikki, would you take us your handy dandy chopper and chop us some onions?
Do it. Ta-da.
So let's take most of these. That's a medium, would you say the medium yellow onion? That's beautiful. Now, if you will, can you cut into the heart of this? I'm still, by the way, on a fennel kick. I can't help it. This adds so much to this dish. I love this stuff, especially when it comes to oysters and mussels and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna take our fennel, you can put it in the chopper too, Nikki.
Okay.
And I would say that
Is that enough?
is appropriate. Now trust me on the fennel, give it a shot. You can find them in a lot of major stores, and it's absolutely so versatile, it's a subtle flavor, but it is so absolutely wonderful.
Smells so good.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful. Perfect.
That's perfect. Oh, the
Yum,
smell.
that smells good.
The smell. So we're just gonna let that go till it's translucent. Now one thing I'm gonna do here real quick, I'm gonna come in with a little French liqueur that has an anise or fennel flavor. Oh, do you smell it?
I do. Oh, wow. Nice.
So I'm gonna let that reduce down, and I'm gonna put a little bit more in there, and I'm gonna start mixing stuff up. And you don't have to have that liqueur, but
Oh, it
would certainly help.
It adds so much.
Okay, so into this mixture, I'm gonna put a little bit into our oysters. I'm gonna put a little bit of,
Chicken broth?
chicken broth.
Right.
I'm gonna also put a little bit of hot sauce, and if you'll squeeze me out just a little bit of lemon in there.
Do it.
Gotta have hot sauce in this. Now that is not, I promise, Nikki, it's not gonna make that terribly hot.
Alrighty.
Promise.
How much lemon juice you want?
Probably whatever will come out of that. So we have, and I didn't measure this out, always save your leftover cornbread and your bread.
Yeah.
Let it dry. You can even dry it on a
Oh, yeah.
tray in the oven, on a cookie tray. So I want to mix this up just a little bit, and a little bit of our
Yeah.
anise or fennel flavoring. I'm going to put some sage into our cornbread and our regular bread. And I didn't measure this out, but you can see it's 2 bowls, which is probably, what, 2 cups
Probably,
per bowl.
yeah.
Put some sage, some thyme.
Smelling pretty good in here.
Oh, I dreamed about this. So here we are with this part. Oh, can you smell it?
I can smell it.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this the right consistency too.
Go first.
Cornbread, regular bread, dried, moisture's out. Start mixing that up. You see where I'm going, Mrs. Farmer?
I do.
So let's start bringing some of those oysters in.
You want to scoop them or you just pour it for you?
Go ahead and pour it out
some?
a little bit at a time. I'll mix them up. And again, if you don't have oysters, and if you wanted to do a mock oyster, you could use mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, you can use pickled pig's heads.
It would be delicious.
That would be excellent. Okay, let's go ahead and dump some of that in there.
Want the rest?
Yep. Now you want it to have moisture, but you don't want soup, you want dressing. But if it seems to be a little bit dry, come back with your chicken broth. You know what the consistency of dressing needs to be. What do you think?
Perfect.
Does it look right to you?
It looks really good.
Oh, I'm so excited. Then we're gonna pop this in here at about 350, about 40, 45 minutes.
Alrighty.
All right.
Stuffing? I don't even want to wait. A lot of flavors in that. Yum. That's really good. You spice that up.
I thought about this all night long.
That's really good.
Oh. Okay, we got the bird. We got the cranberry sauce. We have the dressing. We need something green.
We do. Green beans.
Let's do my wonderful. This was stolen from a lunch lady
Yes, it
way
was.
back when. She gave me this years ago, and I kind of added to it and got it to where I liked it. Here's the perfect beans to set right beside your dressing.
Yummy.
All right, I'm going to tell you about my top secret. These are all top secret recipes. I can't believe I'm giving them out.
I can't either.
Green beans. You want the best green beans in the world? Should I tell them?
Tell them.
All right, first of all, cover them with chicken stock. All right, that's the beginning. Pour out the juice you had with them, whether they're homemade or store-bought. Pour out the juice. Then you got to chop some onions.
Okay.
Now we're going to use about a third of a decent sized onion. Yellow sweet onions. This is the best green bean in the world. And we have served these at so many events.
Oh, yeah.
And every time we've served them, people absolutely dig these. So, we got onions, we got chicken stock, we have the green beans themselves, and now we're gonna have a little bit of bacon grease.
Which we always save, don't we? The good bacon grease.
Bacon grease. Now we're gonna put copious amounts of pepper in there. We're gonna use an all-purpose seasoning. Use quite a bit of that.
That's good.
And if you want to give you a little more salty flavor, you won't even have to put any salt in here if you do this. If you want to use some chicken bouillon, you're on your way to some pretty good beans right there. Now, something that some people do and some people don't. It's up to you. Some people like a little sweet in their beans, and some people don't. If you want a little sugar, it makes it really good.
I think it's good.
If you don't want any sugar, that's fine too. And we're going to cook those green beans for at least an hour till those onions really get cooked down and all those flavors begin to marry up. This is a top secret meal here.
Yes, it is.
And this is long overdue. This just might be the perfect country kitchen meal.
Yummy.
I mean, yum papa, as Sammy would say.
That's right.
Our beans are done.
They look good.
When you start seeing the moisture cooked out of that and all those flavors, oh. So a few years ago, we talked to Lois, and she talked about her yeast rolls.
Yes.
Very similar to what my mom used to make, your mom used to make. Very easy, cut and dry.
I make them a lot.
Cut and dry.
Cut and dry, exactly.
Beautiful, wonderful. You can take 3 little balls. You know, we've been making them here lately. Just one big roll.
Or a loaf of bread even.
Oh, you can
delicious.
make bread with it. So if you want to try some beautiful, wonderful, can't hardly fail on this recipe,
Yes.
try Lois's yeast rolls. As we're cooking a meal, we want to get everything together time-wise. You're going to start with our friend Lois's yeast roll recipe.
The sweet rolls, they're so good.
And then we're going to take them like Mom used to do. She used to take 3 little balls and put them in the muffin pan, and then they would grow.
They're so, you know what, you notice I'm making this almost every week?
Yes.
I know this one by heart because it's such a great recipe.
And it's really good.
Oh, it's really good.
And they're good for you.
Yes, and
there's
it's simple.
no calories.
It's simple. It's really simple too.
All right, how do you do it?
All right, we're going to start off, and it's actually really simple. I got this all memorized. I am going to take a 1/3 cup of sugar.
All right.
Put this in the bowl, and that might sound weird to start. And I'm going to do a whole packet of yeast.
All right.
And I need a 1 1/4 cup of warm water. So what I think is unique about this is she has the sugar in there with the yeast. So we're going to start with that.
Makes it work.
Yes. Now I need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I know you have salt over there.
$1?
$1? Wow. That's
I
expensive.
need the cash before you put it in there.
Alrighty.
Let me
Thank
dump
you.
it?
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
And now I have a 1/3 cup of oil. That's just vegetable oil. That's pretty much it for the wet. And in her recipe, she says use 3 cups of flour and then a little extra just to make sure it doughs up good. So I have about 3.5 cups.
Okay.
So usually I just add a little bit in here, mix it as I go. All right, one thing nice about this recipe is you can let it rise. After it rises, put it in the fridge and let it sit until you need it. So
I like that.
Yeah,
So you got something to do
right.
around the farm, or you want to go shopping like
Yes,
Nikki likes
that's
to
right.
do.
And that way, for me, if we're having people for dinner, I just make it in the morning and set it aside till we need it.
Now, how much do you need it?
Just a little bit, just to get a ball, she said. So not a whole lot. And that's why I get a little extra flour. And if you think you need more flour, you can add it till you get it to where you want it. And I leave it a little bit sticky. And this looks pretty good. And usually I let it sit on the counter for a couple hours and rise. And then after it's gotten to where I want it, I just put it in the fridge till we need it. We're gonna let
I'm digging it.
I know it.
That's so good. Something about when you're cooking yeast bread in the oven,
Yeah, so
it's
good.
really, really good.
All right, now that we have this, we're gonna go ahead and let it rise on the counter a couple hours. Then after that, we can throw it in the fridge and then we can use it whenever we
Good
want.
to go.
Yes.
I like it. So we're gonna have everything come together at once. How long does it take your yeast rolls to cook?
They only cook 15 minutes, but what I've done, I actually let this rise on the counter for probably 2 hours, and it's been in the fridge. So see how it is right now? And it's cool. So
It's doughy.
it's doughy, but you can sit in the fridge, and I'm gonna do what you said your mom used to do.
This is what she did.
Yes.
And I loved it because you could split them in threes, and it makes the top grow out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
And we're gonna let these sit behind us and grow until they look good, and we're gonna actually put some butter on them too. So she said to
Now, what temperature and for how long?
We're gonna put these at 425, and I'm gonna give it 15, 20 minutes. We're gonna kind of watch them.
It happens pretty quick.
Yeah, to see when they're brown, and I'm gonna, like I said, put butter on them. Look at them. Breaks apart in 3 little pieces. See how perfect that is?
That's the way Mom
These
did.
are,
Oh, remember when we'd get sorghum and butter and put on a roll like this?
those are so good.
Oh.
Wow. I might have more.
So now, if you want to check out the many thousands and millions of desserts we've done over the years, where would you go?
TimFarmersCountryKitchen.com.
And there's plenty of recipes on there for your desserts. Now, the important thing is, after Thanksgiving, you got turkey left.
Lots of
Hopefully.
turkey, yes.
Hopefully you got a bunch, because there's so many things you can do with it. One of my favorite things in the morning, I would hear Mom making biscuits and Dad making his turkey hash.
I love that.
It's easy, it's simple, it's wonderful, it's unusual, because watch how meticulously he does this. And everything he does with the onions and everything,
Yes.
it's got its own particular taste. I can't explain it, but you're going to want to try it. Look who's here today to try our scrapple and tell us what to do with your leftover turkey. It's Mr. Farmer. Hey, Mr. Farmer.
Hey, Mr. Farmer.
Somebody in the show recently asked to say, why do you call Nikki Mrs. Farmer? I'm like, it's Mrs. Farmer. I call you Mrs. Farmer. Just as a joke, you call Mom Mrs. Farmer. Mrs. Farmer calls me Mr. Farmer, and it's just kind of fun. So that's how that started back in the 70s. 1974, right?
Right.
You were there.
I got it.
What Daddy's making is what we used to smell after Thanksgiving. You wake up in the morning. Such a simple recipe, but such a wonderful smell.
Okay, so you want me to start?
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's do. We'll get this heated up a little bit. It takes about 20 minutes for the potatoes to cook. This is a couple of cups of broth, and I try to cut it up efficiently and make the pieces come out a certain size so you can pick them up with your fork or spoon or whatever you eat with. And just in a few seconds, you have a bunch of tiny potatoes to go in the hash. I usually use like 4 pretty good sized potatoes. These were a little bit smaller, so we used a few more. I think we used about 6 of these. I'll put the potatoes in first because it takes them longer to cook. I'll go ahead and put these onions in there too, since I got them cut up. I think I'll cut up a little bit more onion to put in there.
Just salt and pepper.
Just salt and pepper.
Now, in a minute,
And
those onions are getting my eyes. But in a minute, we're going to start getting that smell.
if you don't have broth, no big deal. It's almost as good with water. So, but broth is the best, of course, because you get that broth cooked into everything. This is a little bit, this is gonna be a little bit meaty, so that's, I like
I
that.
don't have a problem with that.
Okay, so there you go, 20,
Now-
20 minutes.
When you went back and made it the first time, did you have to kind of experiment to get that? Do you? I'm sure you remember the smell and taste too, just like when you were a kid.
Yeah. I think the thing I had to figure out the most was the proportions. You know, how many potatoes, how many onions, and how much meat. You know what it kind of looks like. And I was telling you when I first came, I kind of came up with an idea: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 onion, medium size. 2 cups of turkey. 3 cups of broth. And 4 pretty good sized potatoes, and that makes a skillet.
That's it. What, smell that?
Yeah, I smell it.
That's the magic.
If it boils down a little bit and starts to look maybe a little bit dry, you can add a little water, a little bit more broth, but you don't want it soupy, you don't want it too wet, and you don't want it to dry out. You want it to be able to go over your biscuits like a gravy, and then the other part too. It's not done until the potatoes get soft, so it takes a while.
I can't wait to eat this. The kitchen is filled with the proper smell.
All right.
That smells beautiful.
And here's what I think is the way to eat it. Of course, you can eat it any way you want, but that's about how we usually do.
Now that right there,
And you may need a little salt. I didn't salt it too heavy.
look at that. The simplest things.
It might burn you up. You better watch out. Okay.
Oh man. Let's eat. Oh, it's good. Now look what we have. What is that, Miss Nikki?
Leftover turkey.
That's what I'm talking about. Now the other day I wanted a sandwich, but I wanted a sandwich with a little different wang to it. And I wanted more, so I got some crackers. I absolutely love it on crackers. So you're just chopping this up
Chopping it
in
up.
bite-sized pieces.
And I don't really know how much we have here. You kind of just do it yourself by what looks good.
That
What do you
looks
think?
like 2 cups of turkey.
All right. What do you think? You want to just make it all?
I'd say make it
Make
all.
it all, 'cause you're gonna
you
eat
know
it.
I'll
You're
eat
gonna
it.
eat it
I'll
all.
eat this before the night's over.
Let me see. I don't know how much I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 tablespoons it looks like.
I like lots of mayonnaise. You want me to start
Yes.
sprinkling?
Let's put some almonds in there. And how
Gives a
much-
nice little crunch.
Yes.
Now some people like celery for a little crunch. I really like the almonds.
And onions, we did not even put onions in
No
this.
onions.
No onions, no celery. That's probably how many almonds you think?
I think that was 3 tablespoons.
All right, perfect.
A little crunch.
How about some raisins? Gotta have raisins. See how many you think you need in there.
Ooh, that's so good.
Because a lot of people put grapes in their chicken salad. So there's raisins. You like a lot of raisins. And now, one thing that I thought would be fun is how about an apple?
And our friend Liz doesn't even like raisins, and
right.
she ate a big pile.
She
of
didn't
this.
know till she was done. She said, good thing we didn't tell her.
I bet she'd eat it again though.
I think she would.
It's a good part of the apple. You don't want to get rid of that peeling.
That's right. What do you think? Good? Nothing fancy about this.
So that's another leftover for all the things that you might do with your turkey. You know, if you want to check out some other things on our page, where would you go?
I go to timfarmerscountrykitchen.com.
We've got unusual things like trash can turkey. Some people use a trash can to make a beautiful, wonderful turkey. And our recipes as well. A little salt.
No salt and pepper always in everything.
And we also have a Facebook page where we visit, share recipes, and talk with one another. And remember those who came before us? Oh my goodness, we get so much good stuff on there, but it's difficult to get on there. How do you
Yes,
do
it
it?
is. You hit like.
Oh wow, I could probably do that. Now look at here. Here's my favorite way, just that quick. What was that, 5 minutes?
That's right.
Look at there.
Pretty good? Delicious.
So there's a whole spread. There's a whole Thanksgiving meal. So many people have said, can you help me out with Thanksgiving? And that's what this show is all about. So our half hour is up, which means it's all about
Good times
good friends.
and really good eats.
And we'll see you very soon. We have been catering for a lot of years, and I wanted everything to have a specific taste. Therefore, I had to come up with my own products.
Right.
A dry rub, chow chow, and our barbecue sauce are something that we use in all our catering gigs. I developed this barbecue sauce that is not the really thick, syrupy stuff that you get. This has more of a natural, it's got some pepper and onion flavor in it. You can actually see the particulates in there. You know, a lot of people are asking what we use our dry rub on. Now, obviously, pork and chicken are two of the more common things. Also, we've been using on our corn on the cob with butter.
That is.
I'm telling you, this stuff
wonderful.
with potatoes is fantastic. So 40 years in the making, Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen Dry Rub.
Funding for Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen is brought to you by Emerson Farms Country Store. Something for every member of the family. Ephraim McDowell Medical Center in Danville, Kentucky. Gulf Coast Connection. Seafood straight from the Gulf to you. The Spine Center of Central Kentucky. Wilderness Road Hospitality, Stanford, Kentucky. Visit Frankfort, Kentucky's spirited capital city.